Wow, what a fantastic afternoon of international hockey. The Dutch against England always promises to be a breathtaking match, and my goodness, did they deliver. The Dutch once again leading by 2-0. They looked as if they were going to run away with it. But there was Danson, the captain, scoring her 100th goal for her country. And what about that for an equaliser? We then had a marathon penalty shootout, and in the end, for a change, it was the Dutch who came out winners. Congratulations to the Dutch, proving once again why they are the very best in the world. So some of the fans are making their way home, just gathering their thoughts after a breathtaking game. And the fans, as you can see, are just walking around making sure that every single flag, every single notepad is signed. But the excitement does actually continue here, because we do have an exclusive announcement now for the world of hockey, a new competition. It'll be played around the world starting in 2019. We will give you all the details in just a moment, but it's 9 teams, men and women, playing home and away, and these are the teams which will be taking part in the competition.
What happens when 18 international hockey teams from 11 countries play in an annual global league, culminating in a winner-takes-the-glory grand final? The Hockey Pro League. The Hockey Pro League. The non-stop magic of hockey at home. Starts 2019.
Well, I'm delighted to say I've been joined by 2 Olympic gold medalists. That's Giselle Ansley and, of course, Gonzalo Payet of Argentina. Congratulations on your success. Welcome. And the man in charge of the game, of FIH here, the CEO, Jason McCracken. Welcome, Jason. You made it from Lausanne in that helicopter trip. We were worried about you, whether you get here on time.
Well, we've got big news, and I was certainly going to get through and get here to London, and it's great to be here, Chris.
OK, let's get down to the nuts and bolts of this. This is a competition that starts in 2019. Why and why now?
Well, hockey needed to make some fundamental changes, and after 3 or 4 years of considering all the options, talking to over 600 different stakeholders, broadcasters, fans, and of course our athletes, we wanted to bring hockey home. We wanted to play hockey in front of packed stands, and we're going to launch today the Hockey Pro League.
And how does it work then? So 9 teams, obviously men and women, and home and away. So how does that work?
So in effect, it's a one-off match. The team will play their game at home, and then they'll go and play an away match. We're going to follow the sun, so there'll be various tours running around the world, and it'll be run over a 6-month period. So that's 144 games. Chris, that's a 10-fold increase of televised hockey globally. It's a massive game changer for our sport.
I saw you smile, Giselle, when they said they're going to follow the sun. Is this exciting times? But how does a player react to this?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. This is an incredible announcement for us to hear as well. And obviously, as you've just seen in this game here today, a packed stadium, and what better for hockey? If we can play games like this, 6 months of the year, that's absolutely fantastic for our sport and for us as athletes, and hopefully for all the fans as well.
Because a lot of players will say there's a lot of travelling. A man like you, you're used to doing that, aren't you?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting, but at the same time, we are going to travel a lot, as you say. For Argentina, for example, we used to do that, but for the rest of the team, maybe it's new, and they have to get used to. But anyways, I think it's great to play with this kind of atmosphere like today and have the full support for everyone to the home games.
Yeah, the home games, and there's a special atmosphere at home games. You've been planning this for a long time. I mean, I've attended a few of your forums. The revolution, this is part of it.
Look, this is probably the major plank of the hockey revolution, which we launched some 4 years ago, Chris. And it's really bringing hockey back home. Look, some fascinating, exciting teams. USA, China. On the men's side, Pakistan. Fancy playing Pakistan, India, all around the world. It's going to be a fantastic event.
Yeah, and Pakistan, they'll be playing their home games?
Look, of course, Pakistan has some challenges, so they've been innovative, and they have partnered with Glasgow, Scotland. So they will play their home matches in Glasgow.
Well, that's fantastic. That's great to keep selling the world. Look, I'm sure that there's tough criteria. It must have made some tough decisions.
Look, it was been a very challenging process and extensive, and we were basically oversupplied by national associations that wanted to be part of the Hockey Pro League, and it was a tough decision for the executive board to make this weekend. And yes, we've made those decisions. We think it's the right mix. It's the right mix for the commercial aspect, for the television, for the fans, and obviously to make sure we have global coverage all across the world.
And as for players, I mean, we're used to the World Cup, and we know about the Olympic Games. Now this is something you put into the diary.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And hopefully all the fans will put it in their diary as well, because you're going to know that you're going to have these games every single year. And so, like the Six Nations in rugby and, all those kind of things, you can actually put these dates in your diary and you can something to really look forward to, really get excited about. So for us as players, fans, and hockey lovers around the world, this is going to be an amazing thing for us.
Can you tell us a little bit about, South America? We are very excited here. Here in the UK, we're very excited about hockey. We are the Olympic champions. You know something about being Olympic champion too. But the reaction of South America to a competition like this?
Yeah, I think the South Americans are really passionate about the sport, and we can feel it every time we play over there. And also the girls, every time they have a full stadium, and it's something great for the Argentinian team, but also for the teams who are playing in Argentina. And you can ask them every time they came to Argentina, they really enjoy it, they love, and the fans support 100% the teams. And it's something that we don't have every time we play a tournament, and it's something that we are looking for to do that.
Jason, we're in a unique position. We're sitting here, but everybody can hear exactly what we're saying out in the crowd there. They're listening to every word. They're getting their diaries out. How does this work? When does it start? And how can people get involved?
Okay, so Chris, obviously this is the announcement going out. It's going to be all across our social media and our websites, of course. But the important thing to remember is January 2019, and this competition will run through to June. There'll be a grand final after that time, and there's going to be some substantial prize money put forward as part of this new league. So exciting stuff for the athletes, I'm sure.
Yeah. So so everybody plays, and then the top teams will play in a grand final.
Correct. So it's a true league. I mean, it's a true home and away league. There'll be the one-off matches played at home in front of hopefully packed stadiums like this, and I'm sure around the world people are going to get behind this event.
And in terms of how people watch it, because that's the greatest thing, is we're going to get these games on television. How do we access this?
Look, I think that's the big game changer. As I say, this is a tenfold increase in hockey being televised, and of course using traditional media, but also social media and digital platforms will be available to see hockey, not only for the countries that are participating, but for other countries that are passionate about hockey and they have aspirations to be part of something like this, like the league, the World Cup, and of course the Olympic Games.
Okay, we're going to take a little bit of a breather because we've got 3 Olympic gold medalists down there. I think you might know them, Giselle. They're just digesting all this information and getting a little bit of a sense of how the crowd feels. So give us your reaction then, Sarah, Sam, and Krista.
I think it's a fantastic opportunity. I mean, in terms of raising the profile of the sport, you're going to have to innovate and think of different ways to get the publicity and keep it over a sustained period of time. It just brings regularity to it. We were just talking about the fact that there's a lot of people who watch hockey, but they're not really sure when the Champions Trophy is happening or where. Now knowing that it's going to happen over a 6-month period of time for 5 consecutive years is absolutely fantastic.
I couldn't agree more. You know, I also think, you know, broadcasting and some of the other additional elements of bringing crowds, like Sarah said, but also, you know, people being able to access hockey at the international standard more regularly, to engage with people, to engage with the crowds, and for them to really feel what it's like for us traveling around and enjoying this amazing sport. And over to you, Sam.
No, I think it's going to be really interesting because as hockey players, we're just normally used to playing in tournaments over a long period of time. But I think, is it the Olympics and World Cup? They'll be the only tournaments left. So I think it'll ask more questions of squad depth and things like that. So, yeah, bring it on. Let's see what it's got.
Great. Well, that's our insight, Chris. And back up to you in the studio.
Yeah, bring it on, Sam, quick. She's still not retired yet. We still don't know. Let's just have a look at the teams then that are qualified for the Women's Pro League Nations. Remember, it starts in January 2019. Argentina, Australia, China, England, Great Britain, Germany, India, Netherlands, New Zealand and the United States. Giselle, you're already putting all of these in your diary, aren't you? Thinking, that's
Absolutely.
a good one, that's a good one, that's a good one.
Definitely.
And as we get to the men's, thank goodness Argentina are there. Otherwise, Gonzalo, that was going to be a bit embarrassing. But yes, Argentina, Australia, Belgium, England, Great Britain, Germany, India, Netherlands, New Zealand, Pakistan. Pakistan playing their home games in Scotland. Gonzalo, do you suddenly now think, oh, I cannot wait for them to come and play us, or I cannot wait to go over and play particular teams? Do you suddenly start sort of playing your fixture list, so to speak?
Yeah, I'm just start thinking about who is gonna play against us, but I'm looking forward to playing Netherlands or Belgium. I think they are gonna be interesting games, and like we could see on the December last year playing Belgium on Wednesday night, just raining and full stadium. It was completely really good for us, but it was a rematch game for the Olympics. It was amazing.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, Gonzalo, thank you very much. We'll see you in action, of course, next week and this week in the World League semi-finals. We look forward to seeing you. Luca, are you okay? You fit?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm fixed.
You're
the
fixed.
ops, so I'm fixed. Yeah.
Okay, we look forward to seeing you soon out on the pitch. Jessica, thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to seeing more of you over the next couple of weeks. And
Thanks,
of course,
Chris.
we cannot wait to see your new competition in action. That's just about it from us here at the Lily Valley Hockey and Tennis Centre. We promised you a cracking match, and my goodness, did England and Netherlands deliver. We had another draw. We had another penalty shootout. But this time, it was the Dutch who went home winners.
Netherlands, the World Cup holders, up against England, the Olympic champions. And there is your early goal. It's Lauren Luring who makes it England 0, Netherlands 2. Gazon, her 100th goal, Bray 2-all. This time the Dutch get the better of England in a shootout.